So a year ago, I got off the powerlifting platform for the last time. And it was interesting, as I was getting ready for nationals, if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I was dealing with a lot of back injuries and just having a lot of problems, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be able to do it. Throughout that process, I started thinking about some other goals that I might want, because no matter what I do in life, lifting is going to be a big part of it. That will always be a part of my life. Whether I'm a powerlifter, I'm a bodybuilder, whether I decide to take up CrossFit or whatever else ends up happening the rest of my life, I will always be a lifter. Probably not CrossFit. But it was interesting, as I was talking with my friend Paul about, different goals, and we kind of started talking more about bodybuilding. And when I look back, I started lifting 10 years ago. And in those first few years, I really started to create a passion for building muscle. I just really liked it. And I always figured one day I'd probably do a bodybuilding show. I just figured that was probably the natural progression. Then somewhere along the line, in the middle of all that, I ended up falling in love with powerlifting. And that became a huge part of my life for almost 4 years. But the more I thought about doing a show one day, the more I talked with Paul, the more I started to just really fall in love with the idea of, hey, I think I should get on stage one day. I feel like I should come full circle now and do this thing that I always thought about doing, but was always a little bit too afraid to even think about or even try. So I was 38 back when I started thinking about all this. 39 years old now. It's been an interesting journey so far.
He's already done more sets in 30 minutes than he does in 3 hours usually, so.
It's true. Fact.
It's been a year, and I've got another year until I do my first show. I will be 40 years old doing my first show, not by accident. And it's been interesting. In the earlier stages, I wasn't so sure about this. And I started to attend a lot more shows, and I kind of got myself surrounded with the scene. And the more I did it, almost the less I wanted to be around it. I think part of it was being around some shows that weren't very well run, and seeing some other people who just didn't have a lot of fun with it. And it just didn't look like a really good experience just in general. And I kind of started to doubt if this was something I really still wanted to do. I was still going to do it, no matter what. I had told myself I was going to do it, and therefore I was going to. And I felt like no matter what, I had to go through the process and see for myself if it's something that I would like or not. But there wasn't a ton of fire behind it. That has really changed pretty drastically the last handful of months. Between going through my cut and getting leaner than I've ever been in my life. Seeing Paul do his show in Gainesville and have so much fun with it and just making it look like a really good experience. Taking along with him to see him do really well at the Yorton on a world level and see what the process is like and be back there and see that the process can be good, it can be fun. Made a big difference, and it really had me just like fired up to do this. So not only did I see Paul do his show at the Yorton, but we started toying around with the idea of me making my first show be the Yorton next year. And I think that's probably what's going to happen. And then the following week I will do the Tampa Natural, and we'll see what happens. So I'm pretty excited, pretty terrified all at the same time. But if there's one thing that I've learned in life, that's pretty much the best combination there could possibly be. Because man, like if it doesn't terrify you at least a little bit, if it's not scary, but also exciting you, what are you doing with your life? The scarier something is, I feel like the more important it is to go after it and do it. So many people let fear rule their life and just paralyze them. That's definitely not going to be me. So we have 1 year. Seems like a long time, but I know it'll be here before we know it. Got, what, 7-8 months to build now, put some size on this frame because I know I need it, and then we start dieting, and we give it our best. And you know, at the end of the day, obviously I want to be competitive. Obviously I'd love to win. Obviously I'd love a pro card. These things may or may not be realistic. I really don't know. But as long as I give it my all, and I can look back at this last year without regret and know that I gave it everything, and I put in the work every single day of every single week, and I just get after it with everything that I can, and I bring my best to that stage, that's all I can control, and I can be happy with that. 1 more year. Let's do the damn thing.